Today I'm going to be reviewing the Green album by Weezer, which is the first album they made after their hiatus, which this came out in 2001 because of Pinkerton's failure of commercial success. This album, honestly, before I even review it, I'm just going to tell you that it's way more held back than Pinkerton, and don't expect it. I would go into this album expecting it to be kind of like something you can just kind of relax to, honestly. This is actually still a pretty good album, but I just wouldn't put it near Blue Album or Pinkerton. And honestly, I think it sucks that they already had to go back to doing the color thing just to get more fans again, because like it's a little early to already do the color thing. Or they could have done, three of them. But like it would have also worked out if they started off with just doing three as a kind of like what's the word? A theme, but then they just kind of threw it out there again just to get popularity back. And it's honestly okay that this album is so held back, because like they kind of put a lot of work into Pinkerton. Like he was even going to Harvard during that time and even learning more to improve his songwriting and stuff like that, and people still just gave the album shit. But honestly, I know Pinkerton is widely received now and sells a lot, especially among the hipsters. But that's why a lot of people, some people even fell off here. Some people started here, and some people like this even better than Pinkerton. But honestly, this doesn't have as much to offer, but I'll start the review. Don't Let Go kind of gives you a really good like feel to what the album's like. You get kind of like a mid-tempo song with some nice guitar and some nice lead guitar, but the guitar's a little more predictable. And the melody's really nice in the verse, and the chorus is just kind of like a simple saying the chorus, but in kind of doing a hum. Like the harmonies are nice, and the song honestly works, and the bridge is really nice. It's a relaxing number, and it works good as a it works really good as like a beginning track, but some people might struggle with it, honestly. But Photograph is the next track on here, and this is one of the singles. Honestly, no matter what, just looking at this song alone, it's a really good song. You get, like, it starts off with some, like, kind of techno-y type stuff, and then you hear, like, River singing with the other guys backing him up. And then the song, like, really kicks in with drums and guitar. It's really punchy, and the whole band does really nice backup vocals for the whole thing. And the chorus is decent too, but it's kind of like the chorus is kind of like an end part of like the whole song. It's just a really nice thriving song that really gets you, like, this is the song that should have been track number one, honestly. But Don't Let Go's pretty real about what the other songs sound like other than the hits. But Photograph is a great track, and it's hard not to love this song. Hash Pipe, this is one of the first, other than El Scorcho, really strange songs Weezer did. Like, they have this, like, riff that sounds like fucking Jaws, and then you hear him singing in this falsetto voice, but honestly, it's really cool. Like, it's unique, and the chorus comes in, like, great. It's a really great, kind of like a rock song. Like, it was a big modern rock hit, and it helped them get back to where they needed to be. And there's some great backing vocals in it, and some even really great drums from Pat. And I know Pat's a good drummer, but you hardly hear his drum work because of the mid-tempo songs they do. And the song's honestly really great. Hash Pipe, because sometimes Weezer is more notable for their hits on some albums, and this is definitely one of them. So I mean, enjoy. But Hash Pipe is really good. Okay, Island in the Sun. Actually, a lot of people, this is one people struggle with, but I honestly think it's a really nice, relaxing song. And it's really pretty, and his vocals are really nice on it, and the backup vocals are very commenting on the chorus, complimenting. And honestly, this song would have got a little mundane for me if it just kept the same tempo, but they actually changed it to like some electric guitar parts and a really nice backup vocal harmony where someone's singing higher than Rivers, honestly. But and then there's even like a really cool solo you wouldn't even really expect. And this song just works for me. I don't know. Some people get really irritated because it's a poppier song, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Pinkerton, they tried super hard and people just hated it, so they're honestly gonna be kind of like have a hard time like wanting to do like something again that abrasive. Crab. This is where the album kind of starts taking a turn, and it kind of gives you a more alternative feel with kind of being lighter. And honestly, it starts off with the chorus, and it's a relaxing song the way through, and the chorus comes in nicely. It's just kind of a deep song that it gets you in the mood for the rest of the album because it's not just all hits after that. You know what I mean? And then there's even a really cool solo. It's probably the best solo on this entire album. It's just super cool, even though they overdo the wah on this album. And this track works, honestly. It's really nice from coming off the three hits. I mean, when a band throws those together like that, it kind of makes the album difficult to like enjoy the rest of it because you kind of like when you listen to a new album, you don't want to admit it, but you're waiting for the single. But like while you're waiting for the singles, you also hear these songs that you could get into. I mean, slapping the three singles together like that kind of make it hard, especially at the very beginning, for shit's sake. And so we'll go to the next song, Knockdown, Drag Out War. This song's hit or miss too. Honestly, it starts off with a really cool, like alternative sounding riff, kind of like Crab, and the verses are kind of like the same feel, and the pre-chorus is honestly what's really cool about the song, and the chorus just kind of has a pop punky effect, and that's kind of different for Weezer. I mean, the backup vocals are nice, but all you get out of the song is kind of like your standard pop punky kind of Green Day song, and it kind of works to carry the album, and you could enjoy this song, but this one's honestly hit or miss. Smile, okay, this song could have been really good if they had put a decent chorus in, because it starts off with a super great guitar intro, and then the verse is also really, really nice, but there's just not really much of a chorus, and um, that's pretty much it about that one. Simple Pages. This song is actually very, very good. It's got kind of like a cool, faster vocal pattern than these other songs because these other songs have been kind of mid-tempo and not sloshy, but because they pull off mid-tempo without being sloshy. But this song's actually kind of faster, and the chorus is really deep. And this honestly is probably one of the more standoutable tracks on this entire record. And it's really great. I mean, more standable than the hits. I mean, this album was basically just to get them back with commercial success. Um, Oh Glorious Day. Honestly, I really hate to say it, but these last two tracks on this album are very unrememberable. And a lot of people who like these songs, actually, I don't really think anybody will really hate me for saying that the last two aren't that great. A lot of people always agree. I mean, Glorious Day, all I really remember is the riff. I mean, it's still got the relaxing tone to it, and it kind of you can tell the album's coming to an end, definitely. Okay. Oh Girlfriend, the very last song, it's kind of the same thing as 9, as Glorious Day, except a less memorable riff and no chorus. So honestly, I'm gonna pass that song entirely because it's so freaking boring. Okay, so I give this album a 4.3 because it's still enjoyable, but the band has definitely held back and just tried to make some pop hits, honestly. And it's not a bad thing. It's understandable. It's just the way it turned out. Like, honestly, after Knockout Drag Down, the album takes like kind of a slower feel until you get to Simple Pages again. And it's not something like you like would put every song on your iPod. I mean, there's some key tracks on this album that are really good, and this album is a pretty good album. It's just it follows a lot of the same structure a lot too, where you do just verse, verse, bridge, and then a solo that matches the vocal melody. I mean, they do that for like 3 straight songs. It just kind of gets repetitive. But other than that, this album has a really nice feeling of just like relaxing, and I think that was what they were trying to come across. Other than trying to make it pop hits, is that it was going to be kind of like a more relaxing, laid down, kind of relaxed album compared to Pinkerton, which was I Want to Die a bunch of times. Um, but honestly, the band didn't even really sound like they enjoyed it that much. And honestly, Matt Sharp, he quit like during the hiatus, which is understandable because like they weren't really doing anything, and Weezer was becoming a commercial failure after Pinkerton. But Mikey Welsh, who has recently passed, was actually really good. I liked him in the band. He played a really good bass and he did some good backup vocals himself. But The band even kind of gave off a vibe in interviews. Like someone asked them, "What do you think of the album?" They're like, a bunch of generic songs." They even said that. I mean, the songs aren't even all that generic. Just the last two really are. Honestly, they just said generic names. Like the band didn't even really sound like they enjoyed it that much. I mean, honestly, it's a good album. This is an album you should definitely pick up, and it's actually a good exposure to Weezer. But it's only getting a 4.3 or 4.4 because basically it held back so much. And honestly, 4.2 is even better because it's not a bad album and it's still a good album. It just lacked what Pinkerton and the Blue album had. I mean, the Blue album was still kind of like a poppy album, but it did things that made it okay. Like they threw in some other stuff, but honestly, I'd still recommend this album, and I'd recommend the tracks. I mean, Don't Let Go, Photograph, Hash Pipe, Island in the Sun, Crab, and then I would recommend Simple Pages. And the other songs are kind of hit or miss. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Remember to like and comment. And it's going to be a while before you get another Weezer album review because I still have to get Maladroit and Make Believe. Those are the only ones I don't own. But after that, I'll have them all. Thanks for watching.